This is Miss Smith. I miss you all and hope you all are taking care of yourselves and being safe out there, okay? All right. I'm going to review first before we go into the beginning of your packet. I'm going to look at the last 2 pages first. I'm going to start with page 231, which talks about changing of customary units. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and take a look at a ruler first, okay? Okay, remember, a ruler begins here, right, at 0. If you don't have a 0 there, if there's not a 0 there, then you have to start with the line. You never start at the beginning of the ruler. Always at the line or a 0, okay? This is a regular ruler, of course, and it goes all the way up to 12 inches, okay? So remember, 12 inches equals how many feet? If you said 1 foot, then you are correct, okay? All right, now let's look at our chart. Again, this is on page 231. All right, now let's look at, first of all, the length. You have your customary units chart here. It talks about length, capacity, and weight. These are your units of measurement here. Length, capacity, and weight. All right, now, if you notice something about your numbers, on this side, they're all small. On the left side, your numbers are all smaller than the ones that are on the right. That's for the length. Same thing for capacity. Same thing for weight. Okay? Now, you all remember this. 1 foot equals 12 inches because there's 12 inches in a ruler, right? I don't know if you remember this, but 1 yardstick, not a meter stick, but a yardstick is equal to 36 inches. Now, also, 1 yardstick equals to 3 feet, okay? So that means that there are 3 of my rulers here. 3 of them, 3 of these rulers will equal 1 yard, okay? All right, let's go back up to our chart for one moment. Okay, now remember, 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. That means 5,280 steps equal 1 mile. That's what you would have to take. Okay? Now back to the yardstick again. 1 mile equals 1,760 yardsticks. Okay? Remember me flipping the yardstick and I said you had to flip it 1,760 times? That would equal 1 mile. Okay, now let's look at capacity for a moment. Capacity. We looked at length of how long something is, right? Capacity is the amount a container holds, right? All right, so if I have 1 tablespoon, it's going to equal 3 teaspoons, okay? Right here, I have a measuring spoon. This is a measuring spoon here. I don't know if you can see that, but it equals 1 tablespoon. This is 1 tablespoon. Okay, now, remember, the chart said 1 tablespoon equals 3 teaspoons. This, I'm laying the teaspoon right beside it. This is the teaspoon. So it would take 3 of these to equal 1 of these. That means I can fill this up 3 times. And I started to put some salt in here, but I changed my mind. But anyway, if I filled this up 3 times, each time I fill it up, I would pour it in here. And it would actually equal 1 tablespoon. Okay? So 3 teaspoons, 1, 2, 3, will equal 1 tablespoon. All right. Now, just in case you're wondering, at home, this is a tablespoon. This is a tablespoon when you're measuring. We're just looking at the inside part here, guys. What would fit in here? Okay? That should be about the same. They're estimations, of course. This is an estimation. A lot of times, if you don't have an actual tablespoon to use at home, you could just use a large spoon. Okay? Now, Remember the teaspoon? This is a teaspoon. Okay, let's see. See the difference? Okay, now this teaspoon, this actual teaspoon, is equal to this measurement of teaspoon here. An estimation, of course. All right, so those are our measurements. All right, for a teaspoon and tablespoon. We'll take those away. Let's go back up to our chart again. Now, 1 fluid ounce is equal to 2 tablespoons. That means I need to fill up my tablespoon twice to equal 1 fluid ounce. Okay, now 1 cup is equal to 8 fluid ounces. This here is a measuring cup. Okay, I've got salt in it. I was going to use the salt earlier, but I changed my mind. So this is 1 cup. Okay, 1 cup. I have some salt inside of there. All right, now that's 1 cup. Now 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. I do not have a container that equals 8 fluid ounces, but I do have this actual drink can here. Okay, and if you notice here at the bottom, it has 12 fluid ounces. So actually it's 1 cup. 1 cup, remember 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces, right? So it's actually 1 cup and 4 fluid ounces, because 8 plus 4 is 12. You're right. All right, now let's continue. All right, 1 pint equals 2 cups. 1 quart equals 2 pints. And 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. Now you're probably thinking, that sounds familiar, Miss Smith. It should. We're going to be looking at, of course, the big G, right? Or King Gallon. Okay, so let's start here. It's called the big G. All right. And I'm going to draw, of course, a big G. I guess you can see it now. Now inside the big G, inside you have quarts, you also have pints, and you have cups. Now remember we talked about King Gallon, right? King Gallon has 4 queens, remember? So 1, 2, 3, and 4. King Gallon has 4 queens living inside of his castle, right? He has 4 queens living in his castle. Each queen, remember, each queen has a prince and a princess. So P. Okay, and the P's, of course, stand for what? You said it. Awesome sauce, pints. Okay, next, let's go to cups. Now, each prince or princess has 2, what? You remember? 2 cats, right? So, this prince or princess has 2 cats. This prince or princess has 2 cats. And we keep going. And we draw cups in all of our pints. Okay? Now, that's King Gallon. Okay? Now, what does that mean exactly? That means this. 1 gallon is equal to how many quarts do you see? Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 quarts. Let me erase this so we can read it better, okay? 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. Keep QT, okay? Now, 1 gallon is equal to how many pints? How many pints do you see? In other words, how many prince and princesses do you see? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1 gallon equals 8 pints. All right, still looking at King Gallon, and we have one more left. 1 gallon equals how many cups? Now remember, each prince Well, princess has 2 cats, which means 2 cups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 1 gallon equals 16 cups. Got it? It's not too bad, right? All right, now, how many cups are in a pint? Let's see. 1 pint equals, how many cups are in that pint? How many do you see? 2. So 1 pint equals 2 cups. All right. Now, 1 quart equals what? 1 quart equals 2 pints. Okay? So that's the big G, or king gallon, in his castle. All right. I'm going to stop the video right now, for that is the review for the big G. Well, I need to talk about, I'm sorry, I have one more unit of measurement, and that would be the weight, right? We talked about length, how long something is. We talked about capacity, the amount a container holds, and of course now it's time to talk about weight, how heavy an object is, okay? So 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. Okay, I have an example of that as far as food. This is a bag of cheese. Okay? All right, now, this bag of cheese actually weighs, look at that, 1 pound. Can you see it? It's 1 pound, which is equal to 16 ounces. See it, guys? 1 pound equals 16 ounces. Okay. Now, let's continue with weight. So, 1 ton is equal to what? 2,000 pounds. So 1 ton, what would that equal? Think about it. A large animal, maybe like an elephant. That's just an example, right? An elephant probably could weigh 2,000 pounds. Not a human being. That's too much for a human being. A human being does not weigh 2,000 pounds. Okay? All right, now I'm going to stop the video. All right, so that is the customary units chart. We talked about this earlier, so it's a review of it. And I'm going to start a new video, and it's going to be on actually the actual worksheet, conversion. How are we going to change these unit of measurements? How do we go from feet to inches? How do we go from inches to feet? Okay? How do we go from 36 inches to yards? Okay? So we're going to talk about conversion in just a moment, okay? So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you understand it. If you have any questions, just feel free to dojo me, okay? All right. Bye-bye.